What's up, guys? Welcome back to Natalie's Reptile Room. Today, this is your host, Natalie, co-host Kevin. Special guest, Beardy. Today,
What's his name?
Rocket.
Rocket, the bearded dragon. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Natalie's Reptile Room. So first, I would like to apologize, guys, for Wednesday's video. Dad started a new job, and between that and Natalie's school schedule, we've still been getting used to all that. Oh God. So today, Natalie and I are getting back into our pet reptile pros and cons, where we talk about the goods of having a pet reptile and the bads. As you can tell by our special guest here today, today's pros and cons is on one of the most popular pet reptiles in the entire world.
The most craziest pet, and it would be this little boy right here.
They can certainly be crazy. If you guys are actually looking for the care video for a bearded dragon, we already did that video, and if they want to watch it, they can watch it right
here. Boy.
You can watch it right there.
Yeah, and if you want to watch this video, you can watch it right here. With this weirdy,
Alright, you ready to get into it?
Yes!
Alright, let's start with the pros. Starting with pro number 1. Bearded dragons are super chill, laid back, and docile reptiles. Most of them. And as you can tell with Natalie, some bearded dragons come with the absolute best little personalities. I would say Rocket is very, cat-like. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, and he scrapes his little paws right on top of my head.
He's kind of like a cat.
Yeah, he's like...
Their super chill demeanor is a big reason why they made it on our top kid-friendly reptile video. Pro number 2. The overwhelming majority of bearded dragons on the market today are all captive bred. To be perfectly honest, I have never seen a wild-caught bearded dragon. Anyone ever selling them, anyway. This can be good for a couple reasons. When it comes to them being docile, captive bred is always better than wild-caught, and it takes a lot of those diseases that wild-caught reptiles have out of the picture. Pro number 3. Bearded dragons are a perfect size lizard for almost anyone.
Yeah, even for me.
Even for kids, right?
Guys, they only get probably 5 or 6 feet.
2 feet.
Probably get...
2 feet max.
Yeah, they'll probably get 1 or 2 feet. I'm gonna say 2 feet.
Exactly right. And he's a baby, right?
Yeah.
Rocket is a baby.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get much bigger, and they grow quick.
They don't get exactly like Savannah Manda does. They don't get that big, but they do get
A little big.
Yeah, just probably this big.
You are absolutely right. Pro number 4. Their care is incredibly easy, which makes them great for beginners or experienced keepers. It is very simple. They're not like a lot of other reptiles that come from a tropical environment. They're from Australia, but they're not from those tropical rainforest, high humidity environments. What would you say about his care? Is it pretty simple?
Yeah, you can give him a bath and cuddle with him in bed, maybe, but not at night, you can't.
Exactly. Pro number 5. On the topic of care-wise, bearded dragons are a very hardy lizard. We've went over this with a couple of other snakes in our videos. To put it in comparison for you, we mentioned the red-tailed boas or a common boa compared to a Brazilian rainbow boa. Where Brazilian rainbow boas, if your husbandries are off, even in the slightest, you're gonna give that snake a lot of problems. However, red-tailed boas, if you are slightly off, not for long periods of time, they're gonna do just fine. They're gonna eat fine and everything.
Oh, and guys, if they have shed in the nose or in the eye, you gotta gently just do this if it's in their eye.
They call it trumpet, right? The
Yeah.
one that comes out of their nose. But we feel like bearded dragons are like the common boa. Pro number 6, hardiness-wise. Did I say that right? Hardiness-wise?
Yeah. Daddy.
They are physically hardy as well. Bearded dragons are just all around very hardy lizards. They are nowhere near as fragile as like a leopard gecko or an African fat-tailed gecko. You can chalk that up to their size also. And one really good thing about bearded dragons compared to a few gecko species is they cannot drop this tail. Which, if it's a kid interacting with your bearded dragon, that's a good thing. Pro number 7. The dragon itself is relatively inexpensive. I've never seen bearded dragons go any more than like $200, $300 max. You can get a bearded dragon from an expo for under $100, easy. Natalie and I would definitely still not recommend getting a bearded dragon from like your chain pet stores though. We would definitely recommend like Morph Market, somewhere online, or a reptile show or expo. Pro number 8. Bearded dragons actually come in a few different morphs. They're all not just a normal. And some of the morphs on bearded dragons are super cool. Rocket here in particular, I love his colors. That like orange and gunmetal gray.
Oh, and guys, if you want to get a closer look.
And his all black shoulder pads.
That's how
We'll have some B-roll going in here so they can see it. But a lot of bearded dragon morphs are incredibly beautiful. Pro number 9, they are great eaters. If your bearded dragon isn't eating or has no appetite, that's usually a good sign of some kind of sickness, parasite, or something like that. You really shouldn't have to worry about that because as long as your bearded dragon is healthy, they eat just fine. He never refuses food. And the other good thing about it is they eat both vegetables and insects, but their diet is readily available at any pet store you go to.
Oh, and guys, if you wonder how big he is compared to my arm, he's not that big compared to my arm.
He's about as long, yeah, he's as long as your arm now.
No, he's bigger than my arm.
He's getting big. Pro number 10. Although we had mentioned that if they don't have an appetite, that's usually a good sign of some kind of illness, bearded dragons really don't have that many health concerns you need to worry about. A lot of that's due to all of them being captive bred.
Yeah.
Some of that also has to do with not having to need like a very high humidity and that bacteria building up in the humidity. One of the main things you gotta worry about with bearded dragons is brittle bone, where you're not providing them enough UVB or calcium in their diet. All right, ready to get into the cons?
Yep, oh, and guys, you get one con.
Yep. Con number 1. The initial setup for a bearded dragon can be a little more costly than most people expect. A lot of people expect they buy this cheap lizard that they can throw it in a 25-gallon tank and that be it. Bearded dragons, as you can see, are very active lizards. They need a 75-gallon tank minimum. They're also, as we had mentioned with UVB and heating, they're gonna need a lot of lighting. So like a 75, 100, 150-gallon tank, those can get pretty expensive.
Yeah, like that.
Like a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of moolah. And that's it. Minus one non-serious con.
They get stunk.
They can stink. You will hear plenty of people tell you that bearded dragon poops are the worst. And it certainly can be.
Oh, and guys, even if I smell him, it smells like somebody farted.
Alright guys, and that does it for the pros and cons of a bearded dragon. We hope that this video gives you all of the information you need to make an informed decision of whether or not you should get a bearded dragon. Or at the very least makes you want to research them more before getting one. But bearded dragons are absolutely awesome reptiles for almost anyone.
Yeah.
Alright guys, and we will see you on
Wednesday.
Bye guys.